Okay, today I'll be going over this quicksort and how we can accept a block to make it an ascending order or descending order quicksort. So the idea of quicksort is that when we have an unordered array, I'm gonna give an example. Say 3, let's say 6, 1, 2, 8, 6, another 2. So the idea is that we're going to take the first element, we're going to call it as a pivot, so 3, and if we're going to make it as an ascending order, we're going to put anything that is smaller than the pivot number in the left side, so it's going to be here 1, 2, and 2, 1, 2, 2, and anything that is greater than the pivot on the right side, 6, 8, 6. If we're going to make it as a descending order, we're going to do it in the other way, putting the numbers greater than the pivot on the left side, and the numbers smaller than the pivot number on the right side. So we're going to be doing it in a recursive manner until that we actually have an array that is the length of 1. So here, well, first of all, by doing this, we know that 3, doesn't matter what's going on the left side or the right side, 3 is in the right place of an array. So we're going to keep doing it on the left side and the right side. So on the left side we have pivot, which is 1, and then I'm going to put anything that is smaller than 1 on the left side, which we don't have any, so I can leave it like this, but then we're going to have anything that is greater than 1 on the right side, 2 and 2. And we got 3. Oops, we got 3 here. And same thing here. We're going to take the first element of the right side, which is 6, and we're going to put anything that is smaller than 6 on the left side, and anything that is greater than or equal to, I should say, on the right side. So obviously we don't have anything that comes on the left of 6 because nothing is smaller than 6, and we're going to put 8 and 6, and we're going to be doing it again and again until we have one element. And when we have one element, we know for sure that these elements are in the right place of the array. So I'll be doing it for 2 and 2, I'll be doing it for 8 and 6, and at the end of the day we're going to have an array that is in the order of that we want. Either it's going to be ascending order or descending order. So putting in a Ruby, first I'll be declaring the base case when we will be ending the recursion, that is return self if the self.length is less than or equal to 1. And we're also going to be declaring a default proc. That is when nothing is passed in the proc, and we're going to be assuming that when nothing is passed, we're going to do it in an ascending order. So proc.new. Also, in this case, just like the merge sort, we're going to be using the spaceship operator, x comma y. You could call it a and b. You can call it element 1 and 2. Doesn't really matter. Like x and y. X and y. Spaceship x. Spaceship operator y. If anybody's gonna use it as a descending order, they're gonna pass on to the proc that looks like x and y spaceship x. That's gonna be the descending order. And for anything that looks like this, it's gonna be the ascending order. Cool. And finally, the most important thing we're going to say, the pivot, is this self.first element. And the left side, we're going to take the rest of the element, which is the self, starting from index number 1 all the way to, but not including self.length. Or you can easily just say 1 including to -1, -1 meaning the index -1 meaning the last element. That select, we're going to be selecting every element that when we pass on to the proc, and we're going to be comparing with the pivot, that is going to return -1. So if we want to make it as a ascending order, so we're going to be comparing element and the pivot. Anything that is smaller than pivot, which is going to return -1, will be on the left side. If we're going to be doing the descending order, we're going to be comparing element and the pivot, and then what's returning -1 is something that is bigger than the pivot, just like we put y spaceship operator x over here. So that's good. And we're also going to be doing the similar thing. Right side is going to be self from index 1 to -1 excuse me, dot select, and we're going to be passing the prop. And also here we're going to take the element that is either equal to pivot, which in the proc it's going to return 0, or anything that will return 1. So it's going to be either 0 or 1s, because the spatial operator only returns -1, 0, or 1. So here we can easily say that is not -1. This one actually covers the return value that we want to care about, which is 0 and 1. So if it's not -1, it's going to be 0 or 1. Okay, so we have left and right. That is like here that we got -122 and 686, and here we're going to be using the recursion that we're going to be doing the same thing on the left and the right array. So left dot calling itself quicksort with the given proc, right? And I have the right dot quicksort and proc. Here we're calling the quicksort itself on the left side and the right side, so that we're going to be treating the left side as a separate unique array, and we're going to be treating the right side as a unique array. And when we are done with that, we're going to be adding left and the right, the sorted left and the right. But then remember, we're going to have to be adding the pivot itself, because we didn't include a pivot on the left and the right. And pivot, we set it so that whatever the pivot is, it's going to be in the right place of the array that we started with. Yeah, so that takes care of the sorting on an element. But the one thing that you have to remember is that whatever we get out of the left quicksort and the right quicksort is going to be a form of array. The class is going to be array, so that when you add an array, but then the pivot here is actually an element. It's a self dot first, so we have to put it in the bracket operators, so that we're gonna be adding it as a form of arrays. So let's try this. I'm gonna be saving it. So in pry, I have load quicksort .rb. We say a that equal to 242.5. Let's say anything like this, and let's do a dot quicksort. Cool, that works. That is the default value when we want to put it as ascending order. And quicksort for a spaceship operator, y is equal to x. Cool, that works as well as a descending order. Okay, that's it.